Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you found me. On this channel, I do a lot of book content and I do makeup content as well. So if you are interested in one of those or both of those, I highly encourage you to go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell, as well as if you enjoyed this type of video, make sure you guys give this a thumbs up, comment down below what your most recent book haul is. What are some books you picked up that you're really excited for, or any of these books that I'm going to share with you, something that you would like to pick up or not. Let me know all that down below, and let's go ahead and let's dive into my giant book haul. I bought like 50 something books, 51 books, I want to say 51 or 52 books, which I know you're like, wow, that's like a lot, but also your girl's a little thrifty, and there were quite a few of these that were on the swap shop for cheap. Like I got a giant box of books for $5. And then when I asked, because they also came with like some like college books and like anatomy type books, what it would be if she had to separate, she was like, I'll do like $3 each for the books. And I was like, okay, well I could buy 2 books and literally pay more than the box than if I just buy the whole box and go through what I want, which worked out because the kids love the anatomy books. So that works for me. It's whatever. So I have 51 books to share with you. I also read a very wide range of things. So you're going to see books from almost every genre you can think of. We've got fantasy, we've got horror, we've got thriller, we've got true crime, we've got just true stories in general. We have romance as well. So if you guys are excited to see what books I bought, then definitely keep on watching. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna start off with a lot of like the true books or true crime books. These actually came, a good chunk of them, if not all of them, came from that box of books that I bought. So the first one is interesting. It's this right here. It's Evil Serial Killers in the Minds of Monsters by Charlotte Gregg. Basically, it just kind of goes through like all of like the serial killers and just kind of talks about them a little bit. For me, I already own the book called The Encyclopedia of Serial Killers, like the A to Z of serial killers. So I'm pretty sure, and I've read that, okay. And I'm pretty sure that like I know about most of the serial killers, but I'm still going to be like intrigued and I'll still read it. The next one is going to be so interesting to me. So this is called Columbine by Dave Cullen. So this is where like this author like pieces together all pieces of information that he can find, from the things found on their computer, the kids' computers, the shooters' computers, to their notebooks, to letters that they had written before, during, after. Well, obviously they didn't do anything after, but like, and like talking about like the aftermath of like Columbine and things like that. This sounds really, really, really good. It's really kind of like not in the best of shape. It's not terrible. Yeah, it's not terrible. So I think if I like this book, then I'm actually just going to purchase it in a better condition, because I just like my books to be in really good condition. So yeah. Okay, this is probably the only one that did not come from the box, and this is called A Little Life. I had heard about this being like such like an instrumental book for a lot of people, and so I was like, oh, I really want to check this out. This is huge. I don't know what I was expecting. I did not expect this to be almost like an 800-page book. Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting, but 800 pages was not enough. So this is supposed to be about like 4, are they brothers? No, college classmates that come to New York on the quest for, you know, fame and fortune. And along the way, they're realizing that it's going to be a lot harder to get there. They're struggling with addiction. They're still trying to come over like past childhood trauma. So it basically just kind of talks about their journey, and how the family that you are born into coincides with also like the life that you can make for yourself, and like the trip that it takes for you to make it to the journey, and like what actually happens along the way. And I don't know, this sounds good, but that is 800 pages. I do not know. The next one is called The Pregnancy Project by Gabby Rodriguez. Again, that was in that box of books. I had heard of this because I think there was like a Lifetime movie or something like that. But this is about Gabby Rodriguez. She decided that she was going to tell everyone, including like family members and things like that, that she was pregnant. And in reality, though, she was not pregnant at all. But she would wear like prosthetics, like fake baby bumps, so that way, you know, to make it look really real, like she would Google symptoms and, you know, try to go with those symptoms, because she just wanted to see how much support she would have got as a single mom. She wanted to know how society was now going to view her, what job options she had, what home options she had, how much support she was going to get at school, her friends' view of her, her now family members' view of her. And then in the end, I think she does break it to them, or at least in the movie she did. And it was really mind-blowing. But now I kind of want to read the book that she actually wrote to see how it differs from the movie. The next two books I am actually really excited about, and I did not know. Well, I did know that there were books about them because I had watched the movie, but like I had never purchased them. But anyways, I'm excited. So I loved growing up the movie The Hurricane that had Denzel Washington in it. I loved that movie. I made my mom buy that on VHS, and then I bought it on DVD. And I still have it on DVD. Like, that is such a good movie. I love that movie so much. So when I saw these in that box, I was like, ah! Like, squealing. So the first one is going to be The 16th Round, which is by Reuben Carter, or the Hurricane himself. It talks about his, like, life growing up, how he became the Hurricane, how he got convicted as a killer, and now like his like trying to like show the truth and justice. So I really am excited to read this because again, that movie was so good. So then we also have Hurricane by James S. Hirsch, and he also talks about, you know, because I feel like a lot of people were like, oh well, he wrote, you know, the other person wrote the book, so it would be really biased. Which is fine, you know, I mean, it's not, but anyways, so really biased, and really just like went through, talked to people, really put the facts together from an outside perspective, and I'm really excited to read this and see like how his differs from like Reuben's. Is it going to be the same? What does he have to say on the topic? I'm excited for that. The next one is going to be The Secrets. Yes, it's just called Secrets in the Cellar. I wanted to say The Secrets in the Cellar, but honestly, Secrets in the Cellar. So this is about Joseph Fritzl, okay? Remember this man right here? Yeah, the travesty. So this talks about the case where he had locked his daughter in a cellar that he had created and left... He didn't leave her there. Like, he came back and fathered multiple kids with her and left some of the kids down in the basement, but allowed some of the kids to come up and, you know, said that she ran away from a cult and left him on the doorstep for his wife to find, so that way they could raise them, while his daughter was literally underneath him the whole time, and she never even asked any questions or tried to find her daughter or anything. There's a lot of like, what's happening here? So I'm really excited to read this, give this a try, see what I find out. The next one is going to be about Jack the Ripper. This is Patricia Cornwell, Portrait of a Killer. This looks really big, but she thinks she has cracked who Jack the Ripper is, going through tons of documents, tons of accounts, you know, more current DNA evidence to put into who she thinks Jack the Ripper was. There's so much controversy around Jack the Ripper and who everybody thinks, so I'm really kind of wanting to know who she thinks it is and why she thinks it. And I just watched, it's so funny because I just watched Bailey Sarian's like Jack the Ripper and who she thought it was, like H.H. Holmes. And so I'm wondering if she's going to say the same person or who she's going to say, how it's going to be different. I wonder if Bailey Sarian read it, and if she did, I want to know what she thinks, because she didn't say, and I want to know. I would like to know. Last one for the true crime, true-ish nonfiction. It's just nonfiction, but I honestly just kept wanting to say true crime, okay? And a lot of it is true crime. Okay, but it's nonfiction. I should have just went with that, nonfiction. Anyways, September Sacrifice. So this is about a woman who is in an abusive relationship, and she tells her coworkers, if I ever go missing, if I'm ever late for work, if you don't hear from me and, because I'm late to work or I don't show up, call the police. I would never do that. It would be my husband. And then she does go missing. And now it's like trying to like piece together. It's like the whole story about whatever happened to her. I am very, very excited to read this. All right, let's go ahead and let's dive on into my romance. I only have one romance book. I'm so sorry. So this is called The Perfect Escape. So this is about Nate and Kate. Oh yeah, okay, of course. All right, this is about Nate and Kate. I don't know why we couldn't come up with more original names or ones maybe that didn't rhyme, but okay, neither here or there. I just realized this now. But anyways, it's about Nate or Kate. They both kind of have like past or current situations going on in their lives that they're still trying to juggle with. They meet each other at this zombie-themed escape room that they both work at, and now they're like spending the weekend together and going through, some trials and tribulations together, and I'm sure they're probably going to fall in love in the end. I don't know. Do they like hearts intact as in like not falling in love, or like hearts intact as in they like fall in love and they rip each other's hearts out with like all their past trauma? Or is it like neither one of those? I don't know. We'll read it and we'll find out. We're now going to move on into like the fantasy, and let me just say this. There's two things I would like to preface this with. Number one, these are all Disney. Okay? I'm sorry. I didn't know that some of these books existed, and then I found out that they did, and my life has never been the same. And the reason why I found out about them, and I had shared this in my last haul, is because, again, your girl's thrifty. I find some cheap books. I buy them. I bought some. I didn't realize it was like a whole series, a whole thing, and then I just got sucked into the little tunnel. I got sucked in. Basically, I got sucked into capitalism is basically what happened. And now I need to read them all. So I got them all. So I've shared 3 or 4 of them in a previous video, but we just need to talk about them because I'm so excited that I have all 4. Or no, there's more than 4. That I just have the whole entire thing besides those 4 is what I meant to say, but I got so excited that my brain wasn't operating as fast. Oh, okay, this is what happens when I want to talk about my love of books. I just get so like, sometimes, and makeup too, like that happens as well. I just get like so excited that somebody wants to talk to me about it, and then I'm just like, info dumping, ADHD. Hi. Okay, so the first books that I got are from the, what is it called? The Twisted Tales series. So we've got What Once Was Mine from Rapunzel. Like, what if Rapunzel's mother drank a potion from the wrong flower? So that one is like, instead of her hair being like radiantly gold with like healing powers, what about if it was silver and it caused like hurt and destruction everywhere that she went? The next one is going to be Conceal, Don't Feel. This is about, obviously, like what if Anna and Elsa never knew each other? So in this book, it sounds like it kind of follows the same thing, where Elsa's parents died. Now she has to become the ruler. However, Anna isn't there, but somehow Elsa is like remembering stuff from her childhood and remembers this little girl being there. And so now she's like trying to like discover like who this girl is. Did she ever really exist? Her kingdom is obviously all frozen, so maybe we'll see what happens. I don't know. The next one is going to be Alice in Wonderland based. This is called Unbirthday, like what would happen if Alice was very, very late. So in this, she does recall like living her time like in Wonderland, like she remembers that, and she had taken pictures. Well, then she went to get them developed, and she had noticed that something just seems very off. And the picture that she had taken of herself, she develops, and it sees that there's this like dark-haired girl that's like in jail, and she's like begging Alice to come and like help them because the evil queen is going on like this military march and off with everybody's heads. So now Alice is trying to figure out how she can now as an adult live her life with both worlds being there, and will she be able to stop the queen, or is she going to arrive too late? The next one is going to be Snow White based. This is Mirror Mirror. This is what if the queen had poisoned the prince. So basically in this, it starts the same. Like, her father dies, this evil stepmother takes over the kingdom. She tries to kill Snow White. It goes awry. The dwarves begin to help her. The prince begins to help her. And now she's on her quest with the help of them to take back over her kingdom away from this evil stepmother. But the evil stepmother seems to be knowing every last one of her steps. And Snow White has no idea how she knows everything that she's getting ready to do. And so now she needs to try to make it back before everyone ends up dead. The next one is going to be Hercules based. This is Go the Distance. So with this book, we are seeing Hades and Meg, and Hercules after. And Hades then tells Meg, hey, you can't actually be with Hercules because, well, you're immortal. And now that he, at the end of the movie, he was able to get his god powers back, even though, he was able to be a human. But the fact that he was still, could be considered like god status, like she couldn't be with him. And so Hera, Hercules' mother, is like, well, actually, we think there might be a workaround. We need you to save Meg's ex-boyfriend, the one who had like betrayed her trust, in order for her to like become a god, and then she has to battle Hades herself. And so it's all about her quest of like finding herself and figuring out where she belongs along the way. Next one is going to be based on Mulan. So this is going to be where she is in the army trying to save her father. She's still as Ping. Shang had taken an injury in place of her, and now he's dying, and she said she would do whatever it takes to save him. So in order to save him, she needs to go into like the afterworld called Daiyu and try to bring him back from there in order to save him. But while she is doing so, she's still under the guise of Ping. So she is needing to, one, not only save Shang, but then also try to figure out a time when to like come forward to him that she's actually a girl and has been Mulan this whole time. So she's trying to not only save herself, but also save Shang at the same time. So she's just like grappling with that while also trying to not die and Daiyu as well. Next one is going to be about Pinocchio. So this one is where the blue fairy used to once be a woman, and her sister and her were able to like grant kind of like some magical powers, and she was not supposed to grant them to anybody in the town of like Geppetto and Pinocchio, but she just found something really special about them, so she did. Now 40 years later, her sister is like coming back with a vengeance, and so they decide to settle everything by making a bet that has to do with like Geppetto and Pinocchio's fate like laying in their hands. So it's just going to be about like those two, like, can they come together to save everyone, or is the bet going to ruin not only their sisterhood but potentially Geppetto and Pinocchio. The next one is going to be about Peter Pan, Straight On Till Morning. This is when it sounds like it kind of starts where Peter Pan had like come to her house to like visit her or watch her or whatever the case may be, and then he leaves, but he leaves his shadow behind. And 4 years later, she's always hoping that Peter will come back and she'll be able to like take off to like his like magical land that she's always heard about. One night she gets the opportunity to go to Neverland if she makes a deal with the devil, Captain Hook. Tinkerbell is there, and Tinkerbell's not very wanting to help a whole lot. But then she finally finds out that Hook has some really evil plans for Neverland. So now Wendy needs to be able to team up with Tinkerbell in order to save Peter Pan and all of Neverland. The next one is going to be So This Is Love. This is about Cinderella. This starts where she is trying to leave to go to the ball. She loses her slipper, but then she's unable to prove that she is a slipper owner. So Cinderella leaves. She goes from Lady Tremaine's house to go find work as a seamstress at the castle. When she gets there, she's then promoted to working underneath somebody who then she finds out is trying to overthrow the prince, take him out of power, as well as they don't like fairies. They're trying to take that down as well. So now she's struggling with trying to be able to save the prince, and as well as like those from like her past, and she's trying to take down like the evil within the castle, as well as like her stepmother and stepsisters. So that sounds good. The next one is going to be Part of This World. This is the Little Mermaid one, and in this it's basically at the end, Ariel loses to Ursula. So now Ursula is ruling the kingdom on land. She's waging wars. She has murdered King Titan, and now Ariel is now like the running the underworld, but she can't speak. When she finally realizes that Ursula is now like trying to defeat neighboring kingdoms and like destroy the whole entire world as well, she tries to resurface to try to make things better. Ursula finds out. Ursula now wants to destroy both land and water, all of the above, you know, everything that she can, you know, she wants to get everything. And so now Ariel has to try and save everyone before it's too late. The last one of this series is going to be almost there. This is Tiana and the Princess and the Frog. So with this one, Tiana is backed into a corner by Mr. Felicie, and he basically makes her take a deal with him. And she does take the deal, and all of her dreams do come true, but everything starts changing, and it starts getting really eerie in this town. And then she realizes that she needs to break the deal that she made, and she needs the help from Charlotte and Prince Naveen to be able to do so before it's too late. Okay, I said that was the last one. I was actually wrong. That's the last ones of the ones that are in really nice covers, is what I meant to say. And what I mean by that is, look at this. Look at this. What is this? Why is this not as nice as these? Right? It's like the really nice covers on top. Ugh. Don't even get me started. But anyways, we've got Once Upon a Dream. This is where Aurora, you know, she fell asleep and now she's like stuck in a castle with thorns and a dragon, but it's all within her dreams. But she has people that are there to help her. But of course, Maleficent knows her every step. And so now she's trying to make it out of this dream and also make it out alive in the real world as well. Because again, she's in a dream. So she needs to be able to escape both to make it out alive either way. So this one is the last one, A Whole New World, that's about Aladdin. Now I know if you are in the UK, there is another one or two that are out. I'm hoping they'll bring it to the USA soon, but it hasn't happened yet, so I'm waiting. But when it does, I am going for it. But this is basically about Aladdin, and you know, he's just kind of like a street rat still, or that's how they describe it. And then Jasmine has an arranged marriage, but then the Sultan takes over. He rises to power. He uses the lamp because now he wants to gain so much power that he wants to destroy everyone or everything in it that's in his path, in his way. And Jasmine realizes she can't allow this to happen, so she enforces the help of Aladdin to help her stop Jafar from ruining everything. So the last part of like the little Disney series is not going to be like the Twisted Tales. This are these little books right here. This is like basically the villain's origin stories. I have heard that like the Never After series or the Twisted Tales series, or is it called Never After? I think it's just called a Twisted Tales series. You could read those as standalones, but I hear these need to be in a particular order because in a way they all kind of start to interconnect. But we have one on Miss Ursula the Sea Witch. We've got Captain Hook. We've got Cruella. We have the Beast. We have the Evil Queen. We have, okay, so this one is interesting. This is the Odd Sisters. So you would think that this would be about like the two evil stepsisters. It's actually involved in this where like none of these villains were supposed to be the way that they are, but it has to do with these sisters who are fairies that actually put the curse on all of them and kind of set the fates for the villains. I'm not sure. Then we've got Hades' story. We've got Mother Tremaine. We have Maleficent. And then last is we have Mother Gothel. I think Hades just came out and I just got that. So I'm really excited to see what those are about. Okay, this next book called Nine Liars, I thought this was part of a completely different series, but this is actually a series in its own series. Who'd have thought? Because it wasn't me, clearly. But anyways, I bought this book. Apparently this is like the 5th in the series, but I'm guessing, I don't know. Stevie and her friends go studying abroad, and they're introduced to like a double murder cold case, and the 7 friends are saying they saw something that they can't really explain, and that everybody thought it was like a robbery gone wrong, but there may be more to the story than that. I don't know. Now I just feel like I need to go buy the other books, or else this book is probably not going to make any sense, which is, it's fine. The next one is going to be The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This is about where like 7 friends come for like, is it a wedding? No, It's a reunion in the Scottish wilderness, and all of them are suspects for a murder, but only one of them is, and it kind of goes through and like tells the story from like different people's viewpoints, from both past and present, to piece together what's really happening, why they would all be considered suspects, and who it really is. The next one is just also part of another series that I already have the other ones. This is called What Happened to Janie. This is part of the milk carton series. So this starts off with Janie, you know, and on the milk cartons, you always see these missing kids. And Janie had never really paid that much attention until one day she sees her face on this milk carton. And then she realizes that it was her parents had like stolen it, had stolen her. And now she's starting to like realizing the truth that she was kidnapped. And, you know, she's trying to figure out like what happened with her life, what her life was like before that. Who is she? I think I need to order a couple more of the books to make the complete series. This next one is going to be The Silent Bride. So this follows, there's two people that are madly in love, and she cannot wait until her wedding day. Her wedding day finally arrives, and she realizes that the groom does not look like the man she intended to marry. But everyone around her is like, what are you talking about? That is the man that you are trying to marry. So now she's just like very torn on like, where is the man that I was supposed to marry, and who is this man? While everybody is trying to tell her that that is the man, she's wanting to know like why, like what changed. I don't know, this sounds good. The next one is going to be The Lost Girls of Willowbrook. So this talks about Sage, who knows that she's had a sister. She's always known that she's had a sister, but she's never been able to interact with her. Her sister was someplace else. And then she starts going on an investigation into what happened to her sister, which brings her to Willowbrook, which is an institution. And she starts learning all about the mysterious background of Willowbrook and the tragic things that happen there. This one I had gotten in my book drop book thing. Like I get book of the month, and then I get book drop where you get one book a month. And so this one is Sun Damage. This is what they sent me. It's kind of like a blind date with a book. You don't know what you're going to get. This is about where 9 couples go to this hotel to stay, and they all seem to be friends. And then is it Lucy's other name? Lulu. Lulu is the one who's like hosting the event, but things seem very off about her. And Lulu has like tons to hide. And so now everybody is trying to unravel like the secrets and the mystery within her. So now it's horror novels, and again, we don't have like a ton of them, but the first book is going to be Them. This is about a girl who's living like a seemingly normal life, and then one day on the news, there's like an emergency broadcast. Aliens have invaded the United States. The thing is that they can take on looking like anybody else, but they're not. And so this is just going to go through like trying to figure out who to trust while staying alive, and like atrocious things happen. It just sounds good. I got it off of like TikTok recommendation. The next one is Along the River of Flesh. This is a sequel to Gone to See the River Man, which is about someone who falls in love with the serial killer Edmund Cox. And then in this one, he is like escaping from prison, and he returns to his hometown. And now it's like kind of like cat and mouse between like a detective and the serial killer. The next one is going to be The Exorcist's house. This is when somebody moves into this house that's a really beautiful house. Everything seems to be going well. Then they find like this hidden room that's been boarded up. They want to see what's inside, and that's when all hell breaks loose within the home. I then did pick this, which is a book talk recommendation off season. This is supposed to be about a group of people that go to this island to stay when they realize that there's a family of cannibals that live in this island, and a lot of really disgusting and torturous things happen. I then did pick up a couple of series. First of all, this is Raised by a Killer. These are books 8, 9, and 10. I already have 1 through 7. I read those. I reviewed those in a YouTube video. I can link that down below. So I picked up these other 2. I had thought that the 7th was the last one based on like the ending, where it was like, thank you for watching. I then looked up if there was going to be any other books because I was so disappointed in how it ended. And they had said at the time no, and that was like a year and a half or so ago. But then I found out that there actually are more books. It's only supposed to go up until book 10. So I did get up until book 10. So I'm hoping that the ending is going to be any better. The next one is going to be it's like Asylum, Catacomb, and Sanctum. And basically this is just like a little series where these group of people meet each other in like this asylum. And I think they're really like creepy part of this, let me see, book is like they use actual pictures, like actual real life photographs to write around this story or all of the stories. And so I think that's like what drew me in the most, is like using something that's real and we have pictures of and making it terrifying. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Then we have Violence on the Meek. This is about a man who has serious disdain for himself and society, and this is him on his way to try and destroy all of humanity by murdering everyone, you know. Then we have The Slob by Aaron Beauregard. You know, he wrote Playground, so I purchased this because I actually liked Playground. But this is about a sales lady that goes door to door making sales. She runs into this guy's house, you know, invites her in for, you know, a little testing, and that's when all hell and torture breaks loose. So this is Sick Fucks, F-U-X, okay? Not F-U-C-K, so different words. But basically these are about two kids who are torn apart and they go through a lot of trauma and darkness, and now that they're older and they're reunited, they want to go back and get revenge on everyone that has ever harmed them. And apparently, like, the revenge that they do is just a lot. It's a lot. Check trigger warnings. Just check them all. So that is it for today's video. That is talking about my haul, all of the books that I have gotten recently. Let me know what you guys think down below. Have you read any of these? Have you not? Are you going to pick any of these up? Again, make sure you check trigger warnings. Some of these probably won't have trigger warnings. Some of these, a lot of these might. Just make sure you check those. I have not done any research into trigger warnings just because I'm willing to read anything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.